Okay. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time out and coming on.
Oh oh my gosh, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm stoked.
Sweet. That's what I like to hear. So, so like the first thing I want to start out asking you is typical question first is like what drew you to loving making songs, writing songs, singing.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so it came to me at a very young age. And I don't really know where the inspiration came from. I think it just literally came from listening to music and watching movies and falling in love with art. Because like nobody in my family was like a, working musician or anything. So I kind of started out, I'm from like a small town in Michigan, so there wasn't much opportunity there as far as like music. So I did what I could. I'd put shows on for like my family, and I'd sing in any high school events and at like hockey events. I'd sing the national anthem. I did musical theater. I fell in love with the stage and with performing. And as far as writing, I remember writing at a very young age. I love writing in general. I'm a
Mhm.
screenwriter, so songwriting, any type of writing, has only always been very like sacred and amazing to me. So yeah, just at a very young age, I just found it a really great way to express myself.
Oh wow. And like you said, like you did a lot of plays and you're and screenwriting, so you're involved with like the with the world of acting too.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. I've been acting since I've been very young. And I started screenwriting a while ago. And then just like last year, I started producing and writing and even co-directing some of my own stuff. So anything in the world of filmmaking, I love.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
Uh, Do was there anything you've been working on that you had the most fun with for like film wise?
Yeah, so I go to an acting studio here in Nashville called the Fourth Wall Acting Studio.
Mhm.
And there's a really incredible community there of artists, filmmakers, actors, and that's kind of where I started to create and with my peers and my collaborators and my friends. So I would say the two I did last year, I wrote one called The Stars in New Mexico. And it's set in the 70s, and I wrote it and starred in it and produced it. And that's in post production. So that was just an amazing experience. It was my kind of first time really bringing anything like, to life from just my screenplays. And then I'm working on a pilot as well called Sad Sex Lives, which is a comedy about three women struggling with their sex lives. And that's also post production. So both of those we kind of filmed around the same time and had a lot of the same people working on them. So yeah, both of those I'm so excited about. I love being on set with my friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when you're up there on stage, like doing plays, it, is it harder than actually filming or actually making a song because like you're live in front of the crowd and it's one take and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't done theater in a while, but I remember it well because we often talk about how different it is from film. Like film is very technical. You have to think about your angles, and you have to say the same thing over and over and over again. And there's a lot of waiting around and then go go go. And when you're on stage, there's that one like fluid story.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like pros and cons because I feel like when you're on stage, it's easier to kind of like stay in it and like keep that thread rather than cutting and starting again. Yeah, just a totally different animal.
So so how did you get to be like you're part of a band too? Like you just made your own stuff, but you're also part of a band too. And how
Mhm.
did you wind up getting involved with the band?
Yeah, so I moved to Nashville in 2023 from Michigan, and I started the band pretty immediately. I met my band partner Joey here in Nashville, and we started working at the same restaurant and kind of um, I made friends there, and we were like, let's start a band. So we started a band pretty immediately, started recording and touring, and just kind of like figuring it out as we went on. So it was just kind of yeah, moving to a new city, and everybody here's an artist, so it's like it always comes up in conversation. It's like, oh, you write? Let's write together. Like, what kind of music do you do? And so it came pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what what kind of mu music is your band? Like what kind of sound do you say like your band is?
Yeah, we've gone through so many changes. So we're calling it indie rock now. We're kind of like a Fleetwood Mac inspired, but like with a modern twist on it. So I would say kind of like in the indie rock world.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And how did you come up like you have your side thing that you're doing from the band. So how did you come up with with the whole name, and what made you want to do your own thing too?
Yeah, great question. It honestly just kind of came from the songs. And I was writing songs that I really loved and really believed in, but it didn't really feel like it felt in like it fit in this Roanoke world.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get them to the world because I thought they deserved to be heard. And so I kind of started brainstorming what that would look like. And there's it's a very different thing. Both of them are so beautiful in their own way, like being in a band dynamic and doing a solo project. So I'd done the band thing for 9 years or so. So I really wanted to just explore, go down this journey, this rabbit hole of just doing a solo project. And the name, I loved wolves growing up, and I just felt really attached to wolves, and I'm French as well, and so I'm not from France, but my family is French, just to clarify. And so I came across this term. It's called Lovetta, which is
Yeah.
a French word for youthful wolf. And so I
Ah.
thought it sounded cool, and I liked it, and I resonated with it. So
Oh wow. Hey, you never like a wolf might be your spirit animal. Did you ever
exactly, that's what I say. You get
right? Exactly.
it.
And you have a brand new song out, having a good time. What inspired you to write it?
So I wrote it. I do a lot of things. I love to stay busy. I have a lot of projects. I have a lot of ideas. And so I stay really busy. I also have anxiety. So it's like I'm in, like we're all dealing with relationships and, everyday kind of things as well. So I wrote it at a time where I was feeling very overwhelmed with everything happening around me. And I kind of was like looking around at all these things that I was feeling stressed about and realized that they were things that I loved. It was spending time with the people I love, and it was making music, and it was making movies, and working on my mental health. And it's really about taking a second to look around at what you have and enjoying it, embracing the journey, enjoying the good times, and being very present and realizing that life is fun.
Definitely. That is a very good message. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that I yeah, that is so awesome. I love that.
Thank you. I try to like it's an everyday practice and something I try to remember, which is nice when you put it in song form and you're like, oh, this is actually how I feel, and I can practice this. And
Uh, Do you have a music video for the song too?
yes, yes, I do have a music video coming out. Really excited about it. I got to kind of combine my love for film and acting and music. I produced it and directed it with my best friend Whitney Resides, with Incandescent Pictures. And yeah, I won't say too much about it because I want it to be a surprise, but I'm really excited about how it turned out. So
Sweet. And I went and watched your music video for Gravity, and it was like very well made. Like I really liked it a lot.
thank you.
And how did you come up with all the ideas for the music video?
Yeah, that this one was kind of interesting because I filmed it with a great filmmaker. Her name's Athena Kolb, and we kind of went into it without like a big concept or anything. I kind of just
Mhm.
knew what I wanted vibe wise, as far as a setting and outfits and makeup and just kind of performance. We didn't come in with like a storyboard or a treatment or anything, so it was kind of like it wasn't even originally supposed to be a full music video. We wanted to just get kind of like clips for social media, kind of capture the vibe, and we ended up getting some really great shots. And we were like, let's absolutely make a music video out of it. So yeah, I think it just came from having a very strong idea about the message I wanted to get across from the song, with the song and the brand. And the song is very nostalgic to me, so I definitely tried to incorporate, you know, the school, being on the school, and it very much has to do with my youth and how I grew up, and, you know, hanging out on the roof with my friends. And so yeah, definitely tried to capture that.
Nice. And like your music is very good. Like I was listening to some of the stuff, and
Thank
it's like very very raw. And how do you get yourself ready, like mentally ready to write music?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because it really is, you know, I look back at a lot of my songs and they feel like journal entries,
Yeah,
kind of going
exactly.
back. Yeah, they like take me back to a certain like and a lot of times they really kind of come from my subconscious, and come out in ways where I didn't even wasn't even really ready to acknowledge that I was feeling that way. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, you know, it kind of, I'm not a type of person to like, some people are really good about sitting down and scheduling times to like write songs. I've never been very good at that. It's been sort of whenever the inspiration hits me. So I don't ever mentally prepare. I'm kind of just like, oh, I have a song idea. I need to like get it down and write it. And it usually feels very cathartic. A funny, like a lot of times, because I've started many songs, and as you know, you don't always finish all of them. It's like
Well,
you
yeah.
kind of lose the energy behind it. But a lot of times, whether it's a happy or sad song, if I'm crying while I write it, then I know it's one I need to finish. And usually it's just like a very cathartic experience.
Oh wow, okay.
Mm.
And who is there like an artist you would love to do a song with?
Oh gosh, yeah, so many. Can I name a few?
Yeah,
I'm gonna name a
definitely.
few. Okay, so Stevie Nicks has always been a big one for me. Huge
I
inspiration.
love her.
I
I
know
love
she's
her.
incredible, like
Yes.
incredible. So I would be, oh my gosh, I would, that she would make my life if I were able to collaborate with Stevie Nicks. And a lot of the artists I grew up on, like Alanis Morissette, um, and a lot of the newer artists too. I love where the kind of pop realm is going.
Hmm.
Like Maggie Rogers is a big one for me. I would love to do a song with Maggie. So yeah.
Not would you love for like one of your songs to be chosen for like a television series? Like,
Oh my gosh. Yes, the answer is yes. 'Cause especially like I said, I'm just like I love film and I love combining music and film. And so when I write, I oftentimes have basically just like movies playing in my head.
yeah.
So I think a lot of my music comes across as like very like cinematic, because that's just kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm writing it, and you know, when I'm in the studio. So it's kind of, especially a lot of these like a lot of the songs I'm writing and releasing now for Lovetta, they remind me of like a coming of age kind of like indie 90s 2000s movie soundtrack. So yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
And what do you love about playing live? Like what's the live ec- experience like for you as an artist?
Yeah, another great question. Live music is kind of the payoff, you know, because it's like, and being in the studio as well, and writing. But outside of that, there's a lot of, you know, business side of it, of being on the computer and emails and social media and booking things, and you know, bringing people together and practices and all that kind of stuff. So playing the live show is another very cathartic experience.
Mhm.
Um, and the best part of it is just really the connection. I mean, that's why I make music, is I love to connect with people. So being up there and just resonating with people, and kind of feeling that kinetic energy on stage is just, there's nothing else like it.
Oh yeah, I mean, when like we're like fans going to see a band or an artist, like just being on the floor, like listening to the band or the
Yeah,
artist, and it just gives that positive like energy that you just want to dance and scream.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I heard someone say one time it's the closest thing that we can get to magic, which I love, because there's just like
right,
this
yeah, yeah,
unspoken energy
exactly.
kind of like, yeah. feeling that you get, and there's nothing else like it.
Oh my God, I know, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it is. It is.
uh, are there any plans on you going on tour with your your own stuff?
Yeah, definitely. We're working on shows right now for 2024. Nothing to announce quite yet, but definitely that is the goal, is to be playing as many shows as possible. So,
Oh wow, okay. And what kind of music do you like listening to? Like what's on your playlist?
yeah, it's all over the board, and honestly, it changes a lot with the seasons. So I'm always kind of like listening to, what's new in pop, like Maggie and Haim and Muna and Samia, all those. I love a lot of those female pop artists that are just like killing it right now. And then of course like my classics, like the 70s rock, Fleetwood Mac, the
Oh
Birds, CSNY. And then a lot of times in the fall, I love to kind of get into like moody folk music. So like Bon
yeah.
Iver, Gregory Alan Isakov, Fleet Foxes. Yeah. So all over the board.
Wow, you definitely have great taste in music. Like
Thank you. I like to
it
think so.
definitely, it's not just like one thing, like one kind of sound. Like you have like a whole bunch of different sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much great music out there.
Oh yeah. And if you had to do a karaoke song, what do you think you would sing?
Ooh, man, these questions so good. My go-to lately has been Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh my God, I love that song.
It's
Yes.
such a fun one to belt out. I've done it's been like my go-to the past few times. My friends are probably like, all right, we get it. You like the song.
That is such a great song to sing
It is.
in karaoke. Like that's a song that everybody knows
I
too.
know.
So
Everyone
when
gets
you're
really
singing it, I
excited
mean,
about it. So I mean, if it ain't broke, I mean, just gonna keep
I
going for
exactly, yes.
it.
So, what's your drink of choice if you're out with your friends, like doing karaoke, just
Yeah.
hanging at a bar?
I like to keep it simple. I like a tequila soda with lime. It's my go-to. My go-to
That,
fun drink.
all right, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. I
Yeah.
like that. And what about food? Like, what kind of food do you love to eat?
So I'm pretty healthy. I try to be pretty like health conscious. Um, but I eat way too much of it and I spend way too much money on it. I love it so much. I think it might borderline an addiction. Sushi. I love
Oh my
sushi.
God, that's so good though.
It's
Yes,
so good and it's so fun to eat and I feel great afterwards.
exactly. Because it's not really fulling like when
Yeah,
you eat some meals.
like
Like,
heavy and
yeah, heavy when you're done eating, you feel bloated and
yes,
belching and stuff. And but like
absolutely. And it's
with
fun. You get to
sushi,
use the
it's like
chopsticks
so.
and
Which which roll do you like most? I love spicy tuna. Like that's my favorite.
I love spicy tuna. That's my favorite as well. That's my go-to. Bonding over
I know,
sushi.
same.
I love it.
Yeah, every time I go out and have it, I'm like spicy tuna, and sometimes for lunch I get the the three roll
Yeah.
special, and it's like all spicy tuna, like
Yeah,
nothing else.
just make it all spicy tuna. Let's just be I'm not feeling adventurous here. Again, if it ain't broke, just stick to what you
Exactly.
know.
And when you're not making music or writing films, like what do you like doing during your free time if you have any?
Yeah. I try to do things because I am so like task oriented when I'm not doing tasks and even things I love like film and music have become very task oriented. I definitely try to like I love nature. I love being outside. I grew up riding horses, which I don't get to do very often, but any chance I get to do, I love doing that. And reading. I love reading any type of like art. Yeah, anything that I can just kind of like shut my mind off for a little bit.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a big horror fan, so I always ask my guests this. Are there any horror films that you like to watch, especially for Halloween season?
Ooh, I'm not. So I love Halloween. My birthday is Halloween, and I
Are
love,
you serious?
yeah. So I love all things spooky except horror movies. I don't
Okay.
love horror movies, but I will tonight. So it's Nashville Film Festival right now, and I actually assistant directed on this horror short called MK Ultra. So I'll give that a little shout out because I'm about to head to that in a little bit.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so that was another film that I got to create with some really great Nashville filmmakers. So yeah.
oh
What's
my
your
God.
favorite horror movie? Tell me. I don't even know where to start.
My favorite horror film is classic Halloween. Like you
Okay,
can't go wrong with that.
nice.
I did you did you
I
see
would
that?
probably lean towards the classics if I were to choose, but
But oh my God, that's so awesome! Like your birthday is Halloween.
it is. Yeah,
That
I
is
grew
so
up just
awesome. I love that.
convinced that I was a witch and that my superpowers were going to come in anytime. I think this year is the year.
So, what kind of spooky things do you like doing for Halloween? See, I mean, if your birthday is Halloween, you have to
Yeah.
dress up for Halloween, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Nashville, so there's like a million events going on. So like I'll go to a couple, Halloween events and stuff like that. But I also am very much into like anything witchy. So I have like I like to do like my full moon rituals and my intentions and burn candles and just read books on all things witchy and spells and moons. And so anything around that I love.
Oh my God, I love that. Yes, definitely.
It's good. That's good.
So, did you ever watch shows like Charmed and
Yeah.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch and all
Yes,
that?
I love those are all my favorite shows. Charmed was like I loved Charmed. I think Buffy the Vampire Slayer was like my first
Yes,
television obsession, and then it
yes.
moved on to Charmed.
Oh my God, I love Charmed so much. Like
Yeah.
just recently, I actually flew out of Philly to Florida for this con because I saw that Shannon Doherty and Holly Marie Combs were going to be there.
Really?
Yes, and I know Shannon Doherty's is really sick, so
Yeah.
I wanted to see her like soon, and I like flew out to Florida, and Shannon Doherty was sitting right there, and Holly
Oh my
Marie was right next to
gosh.
her, and I had
Amazing.
oh my God, yeah. I had a big picture of her, of Shannon, Alyssa, and Holly.
Oh,
And I had Shannon and Holly sign it and they were talking to me
oh, I
and
love that.
oh my
How
God, it was so
special.
great. I
So
loved it.
jealous. Oh my gosh, I love that. So jealous.
Shannon Doherty is so sweet though. Like when
Really?
I met her, she was so sweet. She was making jokes at me and everything. She talked to me a little bit about Charmed and yeah,
Yeah, I love to hear that when you like meet the people you look up to that they're kind, lovely humans is great.
yeah, she even made a joke too because she said, "Oh, you got two of us signed now." She said, "Good, good, good, good luck trying to get the other one." She went,
Oh no. Some like low key beef there, just throwing it in there. I love it.
and what do you prefer to do more? Are you more of like a beachy kind of person or like an outdoors hiking type person?
I would say outdoor, like I definitely prefer like mountains over the ocean. I like both.
Okay.
Anything outside is great, but I can only spend so much time on a beach. I could be out in the woods all day.
Definitely, yes. And coffee or tea, what do you prefer?
Um, I like both. I have coffee every day, and then I realize that I shouldn't because it just makes my anxiety go through the roof. So then I'll switch to tea a little bit. So it's a little bit of a season. I go through coffee seasons and tea seasons.
Is there any place you would love to travel to that you haven't seen?
Yes, I've always felt very called to go to Scotland. So
Oh,
that's like a big goal of mine is to go on a trip to Scotland and experience the Highlands and all the beautiful, you know, land over there. And yeah, Scotland for sure.
definitely, yes, definitely. And is there anything coming up for you that you want to plug? I mean, we know you have your brand new song out, having a good time. You said the music video's coming out for it. Is
Yeah.
there anything else coming for you? You have a horror short too that you're going to, and
Yeah. Yeah, I have lots of stuff, lots of projects. I'm, always writing and recording and working on releasing. So I'll be releasing a bunch of music and releasing a bunch of stuff. So yeah, just kind of new songs. So just anybody that wants to kind of keep up to date, follow me on socials. I'm very active on there. So
where could they follow you at on the socials?
so my website is iamlovetta.com. Instagram is just Lovetta Music. Facebook Lovetta Music, Spotify Lovetta, YouTube Lovetta.
So it's not hard to find you on social media, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I actually picked a name where there luckily are not too many Lovettas, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It was really fun chatting.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Rocco. This was lovely. This was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Now I want to go grab some spicy tuna,
I know, same. Anytime I like mention sushi, it's like in my brain. I might do the same, honestly.
All right, we'll definitely have a great night and have fun at the film festival thing.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you. We'll talk to you soon.
Definitely.
All right. Bye, Rocco.
Bye.